Hello, my friends. I asked for a message for you for today, and I got Judgment, Page of Swords, in the upright at least. The Queen of Cups is a block, crossing influence perhaps, so I don't know whether this is a upright Queen of Cups or a reverse Queen of Cups, so we'll have to look at both. And the Nine of Swords is in reverse. So Judgment is clear enough. It's a card, it's a card calling you to a kind of rebirth, to become who you really are. Also, absolution. So, so there's a need for contemplation and reflection, and this can be very overwhelming. This is often, to me, a spiritual rebirth. So this would be part of a spiritual awakening. So it would be calling you to a new path, to live a completely different life than what you've led before. And this Page of Swords, although they are in the upright, they do not seem to be welcoming this rebirth, this spiritual awakening. So this Page of Swords is, facing Judgment, but their sword is ready to hit Judgment. Not a good idea. So they need to get some balance in here, some restraint, perhaps be less reactive. Most likely they're acting from fear. And their tendency to react without thinking things through is going to get them in big trouble. All right, so then we have this Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups in the upright is someone who is compassionate, empathetic, and intuitive, very intuitive. They may appear to be soft and easily manipulated or tricked, but they are actually very perceptive. So nowhere near as easy to fool as they might appear to be. That is in the upright. In reverse, we're talking about a mean girl, basically. Whether you're male or female, I don't care. You can be a male in a male body and still be a mean girl. It's an unfortunately gendered term. So in the reverse, this is someone who is envious, who loves to gossip and spread rumors, and all they really care about is their own emotions, and they don't really have any regard for anyone else. At the same time, they can be overly sensitive about any slights, so definitely some fairly strong narcissistic traits here. But again, I don't know which version of the Queen of Cups we're dealing with here. So as a crossing influence in the upright, this person would be supportive of the Page of Swords, pursuit of a new path, of a more spiritual life. And in reverse, they would probably mock it, and if it interfered with their lifestyle in any way, they would be extremely hostile. Then we have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is a card of anxiety, anxieties that are so strong that they keep you up at night and give you insomnia. So anxieties are not necessarily real. They're usually overinflated. But when we're talking about it in the reverse, this can be that the anxieties have come true or are starting to manifest in your life around you. Alternatively, they could be that you have finally managed to let go of some of your anxieties and there's been an improvement, a decrease in your anxiety level. So that's the problem with cards in the reverse. Either things are getting much worse, or there is a reversal of the meaning. And I can't tell yet which way we're going with this. So I think I'd like to know more about these two people, and perhaps that will let you know if this reading is for you. All right. Who gets the pandas? I say the page because the page is younger and the pandas are very playful. Well, the other deck's very playful too. Well, all right. I'm going with the pandas for the Page of Swords anyway. I don't know why. So, Ten of Wands for the Page of Swords. What else? I think this needs to be a little more. What else do we need to know about this Page of Swords? Please clarify this Page of Swords. Why is everything coming out upside down? Okay, I am not holding it upside down, just so you know. So we have the Eight of Swords and the Ten of Wands, both in reverse. Oh, I've got something in the upright. Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles, Two of Wands, Two of Cups. Oh my. So you're a passionate Page of Swords, whoever you are. We have 2, 4, 8, 10. We're missing a 6. Anything else we need to know about this? Yeah, that's way too much. Alright, only the one on top, so 4 of Cups, another 4, and we'll fit the King of Pentacles in here. Okay. So, for the Page of Swords, who is this person? What do we need to know about them? Eight of Swords in reverse, so again, either the situation's much worse or it's getting better. They are deeply imprisoned in the mental constructs around them. They are not physical. They could just turn and walk away or climb down their tree and leave. So they are either clinging even more tightly to their social and family programming, or they are learning to see through it and perhaps preparing to walk away from it. Ten of Wands is a feeling of being overwhelmed. So it could be a feeling of being absolutely crushed, or it could be a willingness, finally, to set down the burdens that don't belong to them. But we have the Four of Pentacles next to it, which suggests a holding back. So Two of Wands can be a card of initiation. It's not in reverse, so I'm not going to go with analysis paralysis right now. So this person is feeling very cautious, I would say. Very different for a Swords card. They are, especially a Page of Swords, more likely to just run right in and be impulsive, but they are not pursuing that path. I do think there is a lot of thinking going on, a lot of planning. So the analysis paralysis may be a factor here. And it seems that the thinking and analysis paralysis and all of this mental stuff, there's so much mental stuff going on, has to do with a Two of Cups situation and a King of Pentacles. Perhaps this Page of Swords would like to be a King of Pentacles. Oh. Sorry, there's a card that dropped out and I didn't see it right away. This one was sideways, as well as the Four of Cups. All right, so I believe this Page of Swords would like to be a King of Pentacles. So this would be someone who is established, the ideal kind of father figure, someone who is generous and prosperous and stable. But we have the Devil, which unfortunately I can easily see the conflict between this Eight of Swords, and they've got the Eight of Swords on one side and Judgment on the other. So they're being called to break free, and it is probably just increasing their tendencies towards bad habits, vices, and addictions, and illusions about what's really going on. Perhaps a real state of confusion, but certainly self-pity. So, a lack of gratitude, a lack of awareness. They're just mired in their own mess. And I do believe this mess has manifested in the external world. It is not purely mental in nature. So that is where the Page of Swords is at. Who is this Queen of Cups? Why are they here in this reading? Or what is their connection to this page? I don't want to assume anything right now. The Fool in reverse. That's interesting. No crossing cards. All right. So I'm not seeing blockages in this Queen, because the Queen, again, no gender in tarot. This person may be male or female, or however you identify. In any case, this person has been burnt. This person is not opposed to a spiritual awakening. It looks like they've already done quite a bit of work on themselves. I'm a little puzzled by the Seven of Pentacles here in reverse. Why would it be in reverse? Because it does look like this person has done quite a bit of work on themselves. I think they're just really tired. Tired, looking for direction in life. They've been working. So the Seven of Pentacles is a card of making the investment in yourself. So they've been working on themselves probably for quite a while. And they're feeling really stuck right now. They want to make the leap of the Fool's Leap. The Fool's Leap is about trust as much as anything else. Trust and faith. Trust that that everything will work out. Trust that there is something there. There is a path there. Right now, at the edge of the cliff, because the Fool is pretty much always pictured at the edge of a cliff. There's no apparent way to safely leap off that cliff. So one has to have a lot of trust and faith in order to make that leap. And this Queen of Cups person it looks like they've been badly burnt in the past, probably by a player. There's heartbreak, loss. Also the growth of clarity and compassion. Strength through acceptance. I am not going to advocate forgiveness. I'm not a big believer in it. I think it's overrated, especially the way it's been presented. And accepting things as they are, accepting people as they are, and allowing them to be who they are is a much healthier approach, in my opinion. So I think this person has learned to do that. They've said, okay, this Knight of Wands is who they are, and I'm moving on. We also have the Four of Wands in reverse. So the Four of Wands in the upright is a card of friends and family, community, long-lasting relationships. But in this case, it's reversed. So this person may not have much of a community, or their trust issues may really be making it hard for them to establish a community. What is the connection between these two? What is the nature of the connection between these two? What is the nature of the connection between these two? That's there we go. Page of Cups. That's not good. So we've got Page of Cups and Queen of Wands. All right, so these two are hopelessly mismatched. Oh, fine, great. It's a mystery. It's going to remain a mystery. Okay. So maybe this is a mother and child. I mean, that could be the case. Or a parent and child, I should say. or any sort of caregiver type person. Although this person definitely is presenting as someone who is old enough to have some big dreams, some big goals, to have a healthy, loving relationship, and to be a successful, generous kind of ideal father figure. So they do seem to be coming through as very much more masculine. This person is not, I mean, yes, we've consistently had, female court cards come up. But other than that, there's not really any indication of gender. So we have the moon. Exploring your depths. This can be a card of shadow work. It can be a card of mysteries, also deception, delusions, and illusions. You need to be careful of that with this one. But a lot of imagination. The sense that things are not as they seem. All right. Things are not as they seem. Whatever is going on between these two, that's not very helpful. There is definitely an implication here that, there's something of a spiritual nature going on. So it could be, well, this is interesting. So the other card to come out is the Hierophant. So this is a card of the status quo of religion, also a card of mentorship, either being a mentor or seeking a mentor. So this person could be a mentor for this person. It's a possibility. And the Four of Cups has come up again. In reverse. So the Four of Cups is a card of meditation. It is a card of lack of awareness due to, honestly, self-pity, apathy, dissatisfaction, definitely dissatisfaction. I wouldn't say withdrawal. That's more the Four of Pentacles, which already came out for the page. But this is the Four of Cups in reverse. So it could be that this is coming to an end. You have figured out what you are supposed to be doing. Well, that was pretty obvious from the start, wasn't it? I mean, you had the Judgment here. So the page knows what they're supposed to be doing. They just don't want to do it. But maybe you are finally willing to act on this calling. All right. Why do we need to know all this? Why are we talking about all this? Knight of Swords in reverse. Ten of Swords in reverse. So the Ten of Swords can be a desire to restore something that has ended, that ended very, very painfully. and the Knight of Swords in reverse. So the Knight of Swords in the upright is, you know, they tend to be still, there's that impulsivity because the knights, or sorry, knights, yes. Knights tend to be action figures, but they, you know, they're moving. That's what they do. They move around. But the fact that it's swords, that it is about clarity, but it's all about the mind. They're up in their heads, and they're very obsessed with truth and intellectual solutions. But a Knight of Swords in reverse, you know, they get this idea in their head about their truth. Their truth is the truth. And they don't want to listen to anybody else. And then they wonder why things would go wrong. So, but it's next to the Ten of Swords in reverse. So there is a desire to fix this. So they either have to take responsibility and fix this, or things are going to get worse. Well, that's quite a message. I'm assuming that this reading was for the page, wherever you are. It's nice that you desire to become a more mature version of yourself. But so far, this is just saying that you have a lot of work to do. So again, there's the call to do shadow work, to really get to dive deep, to get to know yourself, figure out what the heck is going on with you. I'm not sure how or why this got here, but we also have the Nine of Wands. This can also be a card of self-pity. There's wariness, there's concern about the fight continuing. And there's no desire to continue the fight. But I don't think you see any alternative. Okay, well, I wish you the best of luck. You do have to make amends for this, whatever this was, and start listening to other people. I wish you all the best of luck. I don't know why I did that. Why did I do that? All right, well, good luck.